Okay, let's be honest. Are you tired of wasting time revising the wrong topics? Well, I had an AI predict your exact 6 and 9 mark questions for the upcoming AQA GCSE Geography exams. You want a guaranteed grade 9? We had this AI scan every single past paper to basically hack the exam. It's predicted the hardest questions for Paper 2, Challenges in the Human Environment.
Now, before we dive in, just a quick heads up, these predictions are a super powerful, data-driven guide, but they're not a crystal ball. You still absolutely need to revise the whole syllabus.
So how did the AI figure this out? Well, it analyzed the AQN specification to see what has to be assessed. Then it reviewed all the past paper trends to find out what's due to appear. And crucially, it scanned the examiner reports. And it found that students consistently lose marks for 2 massive reasons. 1, not having specific case study data, and 2, failing to write strong, justified conclusions in those big 9 markers. You know, those extended evaluation questions. For Paper 2, examiners are looking for nuance. They want to see that you get that in human geography, solutions are rarely perfect. So, let's get into the predictions and I'll show you exactly how to lock in those grade 9s.
All right, prediction number 1. Let's start with the changing economic world section. The AI flagged that the role of transnational corporations, or TNCs, in newly emerging economies hasn't come up as a full 9-mark evaluation since way back in 2019. It's due.
So, here's the predicted question. Evaluate the role of TNCs in the economic development of Nigeria. For a 9-marker like this, you have to weigh up the positives and the negatives, and then, right at the end, make a final, decisive judgment.
Here is your grade 9 cheat sheet, and we're using Shell in Nigeria as our example. You're going to start with the massive economic benefits. State that Nigeria is Africa's largest economy, with a GDP of a whopping $477 billion in 2023. You'll want to mention that Shell has invested over $30 billion since the 1950s and directly employs 65,000 Nigerian workers. And get this, oil accounts for about 90% of Nigeria's export earnings, generating a huge $46 billion a year for the government.
But here's the crucial part. This is where you show that top-level nuance. You have to counter all those benefits with the terrible environmental and social costs.
The Niger Delta, for example, has seen over 7,000 oil spills since 1970. You have to mention the Bodo oil spills, which led to a £55 million compensation payout, and that Ogoniland needs a $1 billion cleanup that's expected to take 30 years.
Then, you bring it all together with a killer judgment. Something like this. While TNCs have significantly grown Nigeria's GDP, the benefits are concentrated among elites, and with 40% of Nigerians still living below the poverty line, it means their overall role in broad development has been limited. That's a grade 9 conclusion.
Okay, moving on. Next up, we're in the urban issues and challenges topic. The AI is flagging urban regeneration as a specific solution to deprivation as highly likely to appear.
So, prediction 2 is explain how urban regeneration has improved quality of life in a named UK city. Now remember, for a 6-marker, you don't need a big conclusion, but you absolutely need 3 well-developed points packed with specific data.
Let's use Salford Quays in Manchester. It's a perfect case study. You'd start by setting the scene. The docks there closed in 1982, leaving the whole area totally derelict. But then, the regeneration happened. The MediaCityUK development alone brought in BBC North and 3,500 jobs. Today, that area employs over 15,000 people in creative industries, and attractions like the Lowry Theatre pull in 5 million visitors every single year.
But again, to really hit those top marks, you need to show the examiner you know the full story. You have to point out the limitations.
And this is where you can bring in a key term, gentrification. That's when all this regeneration pushes up prices so much that it forces the original low-income residents out. You can also mention that nearby areas, like Ordsall, still remain in the top 10% most deprived neighborhoods in the entire UK. That shows the examiner you really know your stuff.
And finally, our third prediction, from the resource management topic. Recent papers have focused a lot on food and water, so the AI predicts that energy security, which is incredibly politically relevant right now, is a really obvious choice for a 9-mark evaluation question.
So, the question is predicted to be, evaluate strategies to increase energy security in the UK. A great way to start your answer is by setting the scene. The UK is an energy importer, and its own North Sea gas production has plummeted by 70% since 1999.
So what are the strategies? First up, you need to evaluate renewables. They're obviously a clean source of energy, but the big drawback is that they're intermittent. You know, the wind doesn't always blow. Next, you've got nuclear power, which gives us reliable baseload power, but it's hugely controversial because of the cost and safety worries. And then there's a key strategy that so many students forget: demand management. That's all about reducing the amount of energy we waste in the first place.
Now for the data. You should point out that the UK generated 45% of its electricity from renewables in 2023, with massive projects like the Hornsey Wind Farm generating 1.2 gigawatts. Then for nuclear, Hinkley Point C will generate 3.2 gigawatts and provide that reliable power, but it's super controversial because construction costs have just ballooned past £35 billion. And for demand management, you can mention that 17.5 million smart meters have been installed to help reduce waste.
And here's your grade 9 judgment. The most effective strategy combines offshore wind for clean generation with nuclear power for reliability, all supported by demand reduction, because no single strategy alone can achieve UK energy security.
And there you have it. That's your data-backed cheat sheet for Paper 2. Just remember, human geography at this level is all about showing both the shiny successes and the hidden struggles.
So there you go. If you found this grade 9 cheat sheet useful, do me a favor and smash that like button, save it for your revision, and definitely subscribe for more exam hacks. Now that you know how to conquer the human environment paper, click right here to find out what the AI predicts for that massive Paper 3 pre-release on the Lincolnshire Reservoir. I'll see you there.